You are still watching Beyond the Headlines segment and want to delve into the school feeding program. This initiative was created. However, in the last 2 terms, we've had a caterers come out to say the government is owing them. We want to know how far with that. Also, they wanted an increment from 90 pesos to 3 Ghana cedis. Has it been done? What's the promise that has been given to them? I have with me Mami Araba Ishan, who is a caterer, and so she can speak to this for us from the horse's own mouth. Welcome, Mami Araba.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm cool.
Fantastic. Tell us what's happening in the school feeding world.
Well, thank you for the opportunity and to speak on behalf of the thousands of caterers out there. School feeding, as we all know, it's an MDG Goal 5, which was instituted by the former president, His Excellency President Kufuor.
Yeah. And
there was a thorough research that went into it, and it was to promote enrollments in the schools and for the kids to be fed a nutritious food once in a day. And then when this was done, we could see a lot of increase in the various schools, in the villages. Kids were being enrolled, and so it's a fantastic program. And it's been run through President Kufuor's era until now. And when President Akufo-Addo came, and Mrs. Otiko Jaba was then the Minister of Gender, from that time, the program was running smoothly until she left her position. And ever since then, we couldn't see anything good. Almost every term, we had to run the term, and normally the terms are about 3 months, about 68 days, 69 days. You had to run it, pre-finance it.
Before then, you were not pre-financing?
It was the same. That's how the contract stipulates, that you need to pre-finance the program.
But how long was it taking before they pay you whatever money you had invested in it?
That is every term, every other term, you pre-finance it. And then while school is reopened into the next term, in about 3 weeks into the next term, you'll be paid for the previous one.
Right.
Yeah, that was how it was. And it was a bit challenging, but we're managing. For now, you even have to pre-finance 2 good terms. And for this very time that caterers came out to talk, they had already financed 2 good terms and running into 3rd term.
And no money had
no money had come. With this hike of prices of goods and our creditors on our necks, and even how to run your own home. So it was getting too much hectic and serious. And then we're like, nobody was communicating to us. And for the sake of caterers out there, that is why we have the school feeding headquarters, where we have more than, if I should say, about more than 40 workers who are being paid across board, from the CEO, Mrs. Gertrude Kwashiga, to her deputies, to the operational directors, Madam Doris, to their PRs. They have accountants, they have cleaners. They are all there because of we, the caterers.
And they are being paid?
And they are being paid. And we ran through more than 10,000 caterers.
Are they speaking on your behalf to take your money?
That is where I'm getting into.
Okay.
That is why I'm trying to describe their structure at the school feeding secretariat. So all these people are there because of us. It's like if the caterers are not there, school feeding secretariat doesn't exist. And it's not only the school feeding secretariat, we also have the gender ministry, which is also supposed to be there for school feeding. Yeah, because the gender ministry works hand in hand.
Currently, our gender minister is not in Ghana.
Yeah, because I don't want to go deep into that because there were problems. When she was coming, she realized that caterers are always agitating for their payment to come earlier, and there were issues of underpayment and blah, blah, blah. So she wanted to find out. And she said she had made some findings. This is speculations. I mean, she had made some findings, and she would want the CEO to step back, so that she could run the system well.
This Honorable Ajwasafo?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I think it was in the news that the CEO has been fired, and then back and forth, we realized that the CEO was still in position. Rather, it is Honorable Ajwasafo who has rather stepped back. That one is, I think, is a political wrangling.
Okay.
That one we can, yes, that one we can't go deep into it. I can't justify it.
Okay.
Yeah, so for now, from all that time up to now, the substantive minister is nowhere to be found, but we have a caretaker minister, Honorable Cecilia Dapa.
Is she helping?
I don't know. Ever since she came, she had never had a meeting with caterers. We don't hear anything. There's only one time we heard that they were going to even increase the scope. I mean, widen it for more schools to be fed. That's the only statement I ever heard.
How many
her.
caterers do you have on board as of now?
We have more than 10,000 caterers across board in the whole country, all the 16 regions, who are feeding thousands and thousands of students. I mean, kids, school-going kids, basic schools. You
were being paid 90 pesos per child.
97 pesos.
97 pesos per child.
It's 1 cedi and taxes 30 pesos taken out of it, and then it's left
taxes
with
3 pesos. Okay. Yeah. Now let me ask you this: if it was so, how long have you been running on this amount?
We've run on this amount ever since Otiko Jabe's term until now.
You've been running on 97 pesos.
That's about
2016.
Yes, that's about 6-7 years down the line. And we've been agitating, we've been writing, we've been going to the secretariat. There are some people who have set themselves aside, calling themselves school feeding leaders or whatsoever they are. They said they've been going, talking about it, and nobody knows who is fighting for us. Until we heard recently in the news, I actually watched it on City News, that the Speaker of Parliament was talking about it, that the 97 pesos is rather on the low side, and we are agitating for 3 cedis, and he was saying that he's not very sure government could consume all that, so he was going to seek other stakeholders who may be able to support the government to run this credible program.
Okay, I think we have a video we want to listen to.
Yeah.
We are here we did at the garrison schools to make sure we monitor the quality of food being given to the school kids or school children. We also want to talk to the teachers, the head of the institutions, and also the children themselves, so that the story will be complete. It's one thing for the coordinator to tell me, oh, we cook good food, we cook the best. We need to find out for ourselves.
Payment been done to the Ashanti?
Yes, we have. We owed 68 days, we have paid all. And if you are talking about payment, it's been done.
For Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
Okay, and that is Honorable Cecilia Dapa who spoke, and she said they needed to find out so that you were given the right food. Let me ask you this: what food do you feed the children?
We are supposed to give them a balanced diet.
And where balanced diet is?
Where balanced diet is giving them carbohydrate, vitamins, vegetables, and then protein.
Okay, and what food are we looking at?
So if we are talking of something like jollof, we give them jollof with soya meat. Okay. And you know soya beans is a very high protein. It's just like meat, I mean like beef. And so you give them jollof with soya meat. Even that one, the jollof, you had to add some mackerel in the stew to make it tasty. And then we give them banku, okra stew, and tuna. We give them plain rice with soya beans stew, plain rice, and then sometimes you put some vegetables like spring onions and it. And then we also give them gari and beans. You know, beans is also nutritious. We have oil there, which is also good for their eyes and lubricating their system. And then we also give them rice, mutu, granule soup, and tuna.
How long have you been fighting for this increment?
We've been fighting this close to about 3 years down the line.
We've been fighting for the increment?
Yeah, we've been fighting for it.
What has the government said about it?
We have not heard anything substantial. What pains us is that the CEO, who is supposed to liaise between the caterers and government, has not even come out to say anything. Our problem as caterers, I think, is communication. We have various platforms that the CEO, the DEX officers, the women organizers who have been appointed as regional coordinators and district coordinators for these are all structures for school feeding. Running through the headquarters, we have regional coordinators. If you take, for instance, Eastern Region, we have a regional coordinator for school feeding. And then we have district coordinators. And then we have desk officers. All these people are being paid in the name of school feeding. But we don't even, when we go on our platform, it's only caterers who are talking. Nobody is giving us information, and you know information is very vital. It's totally silent. Nobody comes to tell us we are working on your money. Nobody comes to tell us we are working on increments. Meanwhile, all these people are on the platform.
Right. The Speaker of Parliament seems to side with your plea, and we want to hear what he had to say about it.
Really, there's a challenge. The challenge is in financing. Definitely, the caterers, as we said, they do the pre-finance. And because of the global economic situation, which has definitely affected Ghana, there's a need for an upward adjustment of the amount that you give to them. Definitely 97 pesos is on the low side. Their demand is justified. But as to whether government can reach up to the 3 cedis a day is another issue we all have to discuss. It's with this that I want to call on other stakeholders, including the private sector and charitable organizations, to come on board. I think it's a very critical initiative, a very good initiative by the former president. It's a national policy that is supported nationally by all of us, and it's passed through various governments. So it's something that we should all put our hands on deck. And I want to assure you that Parliament will do our bit. We'll be taking the sector ministers on board. We'll give them a few queries, and then we'll look at it and see how we can support them to generate more revenue.
Right, this is what the Speaker had to say about it. But after he said this, has anything been done?
We have not heard anything. I want to take you back a bit. If the Speaker is talking like this, then it means one of our petitions, which when we went agitating for increment and payments, we had to submit a petition to Parliament by one of our leaders called Mrs. Juliana Kujo. And for that reason, she had even, her appointment had been terminated for leading us. And so I think our letter and our submission had gone to Parliament. That is why the Speaker is talking about it. But it's so much interesting that after the Speaker spoke, and our coordinator, Mrs. Kwashiga, instead of even supporting what the Speaker has spoken, she said we rather had formed associations that she doesn't recognize. She doesn't know any association. And that we make a lot of noise. When we come to her secretariat and she tells us to be calm, we go and make a lot of noise to the press because you are not listening to us. When we come to her one-on-one, I think when we come, it's the same news. She doesn't care. She doesn't communicate. The regional coordinators and desk officers, nobody talks to us. So we have to fight for ourselves. I think the notion out there is that they think all the school feeding caterers are illiterates or, excuse me, or people who cannot even talk for themselves.
But you talk for yourself.
Yeah, we can talk for ourselves.
You speak good English.
Yes, good, of course. But the truth is because of intimidation, and then probably they may even want, I think right from here they will start calling me. They may even want to terminate your appointment.
Do they intimidate you?
Yes, sure. If they don't intimidate, Auntie Julie's appointment at AMA will not be terminated by now. Because AMA...
What did Auntie Julie do?
She is one of the assembly members at AMA and a school feeding caterer. And she has been on the front talking for us, fighting for us. And because of that, her appointment has been terminated. And the fight for school feeding has nothing. There is no coordination for school feeding and AMA. And so they are trying to intimidate her. So she was supposed to be here. But people are advising, don't go on set, don't talk. Before they even say they'll take your contract from you.
So she has a contract, but she can't work at AMA. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, she has the contract. So it is gradually. If your appointment has been terminated and you are silent and you are now afraid, then it moves on.
But if they are owing you, you don't know when they are paying you, why are you still working?
It's a contract. It's a contract. We still have to work. That is why.
Why don't you terminate it and save your money into another business?
Which business are we talking about? When I was sitting here to listen to Master Echo, the businesses after 5 years can even collapse, or probably you are not making
Others
any.
have been successful.
Yes, sure, but you are not making any profit. You are just running a breaking evening and things like that.
People are of the opinion that you don't. I'm just asking this, okay? Don't get offended about it. But people are of the opinion that you don't serve the children quality meals.
We are in the schools. We serve with the headmasters. The headmasters are in the schools, and there are school feeding monitoring coordinator, one of the teachers. And in the schools, the headmasters and the teachers, they even eat some of the food. We serve them.
Do you make a profit on it?
Well, what will I say?
If you are paid 97 pesos per child, are you making profits?
We are just running errands. There's nothing like profit.
So then that brings me back to the question. If it's not good enough, why are you still in there if they are not paying you?
Because we just have to work. And that is why we are agitating for the 3 cedis. Even the 3 cedis is nothing to run and write home. But still, we want to work. So we are asking for increment. And I wonder why it's the school feeding caterers who had to come out to fight. When we have a sitting coordinator who is also a caterer herself, she runs a catering business. She goes to market. Prices have changed. When we started businesses, oil was 150 gallon. They call it Kufuor gallon. It's now 480. If we had to credit it, they will give it to you about 600. Rice was about 80 cedis, 250. Now it's 300.
So the program is not fighting on your behalf?
Yes.
All right. I have the program PRO online. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm well. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. All right. So thank you for joining us. We have Madam Mami Araba Ishan, who is a caterer with the school feeding program here, and she has told us about all that they're going through, a lot about what they're going through, their monies being held. That is two terms. Also, they want an increment, but she's saying that the program is not fighting on their behalf. What do you have to say about this?
Well, good morning, and good morning to your listeners and viewers as well. Let me first and foremost say that we have to try our best in all our endeavors to ensure that we speak the truth. We get our facts right before we come.
What are the facts, please?
Oh, I'm getting there.
We don't have enough time, so if you can tell us the facts.
But you have enough time to let somebody.
You joined us on the line not too long ago, so please just let me know the fact. It will be good if you let us know.
That's what I'm coming to. You have enough time to let somebody say things that are not factual in my view. So you have to also give me.
Sir, it will be great if we can just. Sir, it will be great if you can just speak to the fact, because just let us know the fact. If A is wrong, B is wrong.
Why are you interrupting me?
No, please go ahead and speak. I'm not.
And so, in relation to the payments, if somebody say they have been, what do you call it, they have not been paid for 2 terms, it's a blatant lie, because we have paid them and we are still paying for the 3rd term of 2021 academic year. As we speak, we are left with 4 regions to be paid. These regions are Central Region, Western Region, Northern Region, as well as Upper East. So why is somebody saying that they have not been paid for 2 terms?
Okay.
Where is that coming from? Greater Accra has been paid.
And
all the other regions have been paid, 12 regions, except the regions that I've mentioned.
All right, so you're saying just these 4 regions, and you've paid the others, right? How many terms did you pay them, please?
How many months?
How many terms have been paid?
We owe them 2 terms.
So how many terms do you owe them now?
3rd term, 2021 academic year, and then 1st term of 2022. As we speak, we have been able to pay 12 regions for the 3rd term, and we have 2 regions remaining to be cleared for the same term, and so we will be left with 1 term. So it's inaccurate for anybody to say that we have not paid for 2 terms.
So you are saying that you've paid a term, so it's left with a term, right? Is that what you're saying?
Natural. And the school feeding program, my sister, that's why I say let's put it into perspective. It has to, they understand.
Boss, let's get it. Let's understand it, okay? Because we don't want a case whereby what they are saying will be used against you. We are just getting the truth. Okay, so just relax for me. I just want to find out.
I know my facts. If the people who are talking out there, they don't know their facts. They don't know what
that's why you're on the line to tell us the facts. Fantastic. And I'm glad you are here so we can hear the facts. Let us know how the payment is done. How is it done? What's the condition?
No, the condition is that before we pay, we go around to ascertain, to get the actual days that the caterers were able to feed the school children. That's the first thing. Because naturally, for some reasons, some caterers may not be able to feed. For example, if a term is for 70 days or 60 days, some caterers may not be able to feed for all the days. And so we deduct the number of days that a caterer is not able to feed for whatever reason. And so when we get that information, then we do the disbursement. And then the caterers get their money through their electronic, e-sweet card. We lodge transmit the funds electronically in the cards through their various banks, and then they go and access the money.
Okay.
So that's how it's done.
All right. Now,
but the issue I was telling to bring your attention is the issue about the pre-financing. The school feeding program, the caterers have to pre-finance it at
for
least
how many
for a term or more.
For a term?
For a term or more.
Or more. Is that what the agreement says?
Yes, that's what we agree with. That's what is in the contract. Unless the people who are saying this, they may not have the contract, but anybody who has the contract will know that it's a pre-financing program. You have to mobilize your funds, you have to mobilize your resources, and go and feed for a term or more. So a term or more
means that we can even go for 10 terms because you have agreed on the more, right? Is that what we are saying?
No.
Okay.
Don't twist what I'm saying.
No, I'm asking a question. I'm not, you see, I will not twist your words. That's why I ask so you answer, so there's no twisting. A term or more. More can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just want to clear the more. Is it one more term that will be two terms, or we are looking at 5 terms?
They have to necessarily pre-finance for a term. I'm not justifying
a term or more.
I'm not justifying the delays in the payment for arrears. And then even their call that we should pay them or they should be increment are legitimate. That one, we agree with them perfectly.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. We have told them several that their call for increment, their call for the release of the arrears are legitimate. Where we disagree vehemently with them is where they take an entrenched position and say that they will not go and cook unless the grievances are addressed. That's where we disagree.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, do please.
If you haven't been paid 6 months' salary, will you wake up and go to work?
No, but what the understanding we have with them, when they came to our secretariat, we explained to them, these are the processes. We are pursuing the issue vigorously, so they should go back and cook. It's not as if nobody is listening to them.
How are they supposed to finance what they are going to
my
cook?
Salary. And
I'm asking you a question,
that the salary will come.
I'm asking you a question, sir.
I can afford
I'm asking you a question, sir. How are they supposed to pre-finance the food when they don't have any money?
When they don't have any money?
Yes, please.
But, my sister, if you have come to take a contract and you know clearly that the contract you are taking you are supposed to pre-finance it, and you come and you will go ahead and take the contract. So what excuse do you have to say to tell me that you won't do it unless I pay?
So this is why I wanted to clear that question. The first one I asked you, the more is where the issue is. Because the people are protesting because the more is not clear. So are we looking at the more being 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms, or we are looking at a term, pre-finance a term, and we pay you? Which one are we looking at?
No, even if the more, assuming that is the more is even for a term, for 2 terms, because as for the what do you call it, we say for a term or more, then that means let's say we have 2 terms for them to do before they are paid, and as we speak, there are only 2 terms that are in arrest, and even as I explained, it's only 1 term now.
You see, I'm just clearing it, okay, because this more could be something else. If people protest and there is a clause of more, then why the protest?
No, let's not get into some of these hypotheses. I'm telling you that what we are saying is that you ask them, have they been in arrest for more than 2 terms?
They haven't said so. They have said, that's what you see, sir. All I need is to get some clarity. It is my more that has an issue because they haven't said the arrest. Let me land.
My sister, the school feeding program has been in operation for since 2005, and I can tell you for a fact, the caterers have not been in arrest for more than 2 terms. Okay,
so this now comes to our conversation earlier. If you had listened to us, she never said anything like they've been in arrest for more than 2 terms.
No, but she said we have not paid them for more than for 2 terms.
But is that not what you said?
No, I'm saying that the third term. We are paying the 3rd term. We have almost finished paying the 3rd term. So why is she alleging that?
But you agree that you owed them 2 terms before they protested and then you pay them, right? You agree to that?
Yes.
So why the issue?
I've said that. Do you have any more questions for me, please?
No, I'm just wondering why you said they are lying and everything because you did owe them.
No, the impression is created that as we speak, there are 2 terms outstanding, and that's incorrect. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So as we speak, it's only 3 regions that have 2 terms outstanding.
4 terms. 4 regions. Sorry, 4 regions.
4 regions have 2 terms outstanding.
Even them, I'm sure within this week we'll be able to.
So the other 12 regions have been paid. They have only 1 term outstanding.
Yes.
Okay, but is it true? Is it true that you don't fight for them?
Oh, that's very unfair if they make that claim, because even before they started agitating for the increment, we have worked and submitted proposal to government through our mother ministry, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, for the upwards adjustment of their feeding grants, which we are earnestly pursuing.
How much increment did you suggest on their behalf?
We suggested to government to increase between 12 cedi and 2 cedis, 2 cedis and 2 cedi 50 pesos.
Okay.
And so we are engaging.
And did you follow up?
We are following up.
What is the government saying?
And then we have been told every now and that is being considered. And I'm sure the outcome will be
favorable. Has the government given you some timelines as to when the increment is going to happen?
No, we don't have timelines, please. But
are you going to push for that for them on their behalf?
Have you done what?
Are you going to push for that on their behalf?
We have been pushing. It's not as if they are, when they started this thing that I've told you that I did tell you that we have submitted it long ago, even not this year. And we have been,
Which year did you put in the petition?
Which what?
Which year did you put in that petition?
We are not putting petition.
No, the increment.
We are putting a proposal.
Okay, the proposal. Okay, so which year did you put in the proposal?
No, we did it last year or so.
You did yours last year, but she's saying that they did theirs 3 years ago.
Which 3 years?
That's what she says.
But 3 years, we're not paying. We started paying the 1 cedi in 2018.
Okay.
So where did the 3 years come from?
So how much were you paying them before 2018?
End of 2018.
Okay. So how much were you paying them before 2018?
It was 80 pesos.
80 pesos.
Yes,
you increased it by 20 pesos.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you so much. So what's the way forward now as we speak?
So the way forward, as the Speaker of Parliament also came to our secretariat last week. Yes, he was also there at least because they have been hearing some of these issues. And Parliament normally pass the laws and then approve the budget. And so he was there to listen to our challenges and then see how best they can also come in to assist in addressing some of these challenges. And so we are working on it. The most important thing for us is to be able to get the funds and pay them the rest of the outstanding arrears, which we are doing. And I'm sure that the rest of the 4 regions, as I did tell you, maybe by the close of this week, we should be able to get the funds. And then let me also say that we have repeatedly apologized to our stakeholders, especially the caterers, that we didn't envisage that it would delay like this, so they should bear with us. We are doing everything possible to ensure that we address their grievances. And so I'm using this platform to once again appeal to them. We have appreciated their concerns. We have told them over and over that yes, their calls are legitimate, but that doesn't mean that they should lay down their tools and insist that unless we have addressed the issues, they are not going to cook, because the interest of the children is what we are looking for. So we are still appealing to them that they should continue cooking, whilst we also find ways and means of addressing their grievances.
All right. Thank you so much for that, and thank you for joining us. I'm glad that when you started the conversation, you were like this, but by the time we were done with the conversation, you have come to a neutral ground with the caterers. We are grateful that you joined us. All right, I'll be speaking to the program PRO, and I'm back to the studio with Mami. You heard what the PRO said.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I think SIBA had always played the defense. And I don't know whether it's a PR only
he has apologized. Yeah,
so we accepted it in a way on behalf of all the caterers. I think this is the first time he has ever apologized. And I hope the CEO may also learn from his demeanor.
They are apologized. They are
his
changing.
demeanor,
they are
that
changing.
he said he empathized with us.
Yes.
And so it should be successive to the CEO that she should empathize with us.
She will eventually.
And then we have accepted that on behalf of all the caterers. And until then, he had always played that role of defending the secretariat, which I've also emphasized that if not caterers, if there were no caterers, there was not going to be any secretariat.
The most important thing is that they have agreed that they are wrong. They are in the wrong. They are going to be working towards you receiving your money. So that's
I hope from now onwards, we are going to have a cordial relationship. And for me, I'll be running into SIBA. And what we want is the communication. You know, communication is very vital in every institution, at home, marriages, everywhere. But it's like they won't talk. Sometimes even on our platforms, when the caterers start agitating, they block it.
They say they will try to fight for you. I just want us to look at the positive side of this
I want to make a small comment on this. The program started on 2005. We are in 2022. And so you can see how prices have risen up. And if they say we don't have any cause to ask for increment from 2025, the same money, the same
Mami, let me catch you there, Mami.
I'm coming. The same 97 pesos is what we used to pay our cooks.
Mami,
it's what we used to purchase our equipment.
But I'm just saying that when he rounded up the conversation, he did say that they have put in you know, a proposal for an increment. Let's hope that the government will hear this. He said again that they are going to fight for you. If they don't fight for you, our platform is open to you again.
Oh, sure. We know you are the fourth estate and you are there for society to do well. And so we'll always fall on you.
Yeah.
And I think it's the only platform that makes things happen.
It will happen for you. And so he has apologized and he said
have accepted it.
So we are hoping that the increments will happen. That's the most important thing.
That one, he said they don't have any timelines. That is where we had to talk about.
We'll push
because for now, we working for this term, we think we are working under 3 cities. Or something around 2 cities, 50 pesos.
Let's see what the future hopes. Okay.
Let's pray for that.
Let's see what the future has for us.
That.
It will definitely get
Let's
better.
Pray for that.
Okay. But thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that the PRO did apologize.
That's
and he did say that
he's going
to fight for you.
All right.
And for that alone, I'll say kudos to them.
All right, sure.
It's good for you to actually, you know, take up whatever you have done wrong.
That's fine.
And carry it on.
That's a good news.
Yes.
That's a good news. So I want to tell them that they should not sunlight us.
They won't.
When we come out to talk about our grievances.
Our platform is always open. Anytime you want to talk, come here. Let us know if they open the door or they shut the door to your faces.
All right.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you too, ma'am.
We are very grateful. I've been speaking to Mami Araba Isha. Don't go yet. Just sit by me. You are still my guest. I've been speaking to Mami Araba Isha, who is a caterer with a school feeding program, and of course, we are still fighting for them. Hopefully, their monies will be paid them, and hopefully, there'll be an increment from the 97 pesos to 3 Ghana cedis, because cost of living is not easy. But we know the government is listening, and the government will definitely do something about it. We will go on a quick break. Coming up next is the big interview with KMJ and his guest. Do stay with us.